Cheers, everybody. We are back. It's Christmas week and it's Bourbon on a Budget. And we are here to hopefully determine something very, very, oh man, that's terrible. Hopefully determine something very, very important, which is
garbage.
What bourbon makes the best eggnog mixer? Are you guys excited for this? I'm so excited for this.
This thing sucks.
I am lit. I'm about to be. This is a lot of eggnog.
This is a lot of dingus.
This eggnog. So I don't hate eggnog, but this
Look at this
one that we're using.
Look at this entire slab of nog.
You don't have to drink all that, Ben.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to poop a lot tomorrow.
That sounds.
Is that a threat or a promise?
Yes.
Excited for this. I like eggnog. So last year, we talked about this. Ben and I got into bourbon. Like May-ish of
no. You got into bourbon
2020. Ben and I together got into bourbon. It was his first time ever trying it. Got into bourbon May of 2020. So I had poured a little bit of eggnog the morning of Christmas, threw some Buffalo Trace in it. But that was a good one. Buffalo Trace is one of our 5 bourbons that we're going to try with this tonight. I thought that one did really well. We're going to see if we can improve upon it, though. Ben, Brendan, it's Christmas week. How are you guys doing? Have you finished your Christmas shopping? Like, what's going on with you guys?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, I'm going to finish my Christmas shopping. It's done, but I'm going to get you a bad present. Does Festivus have presents where you get bad things for things?
Festivus
a lot of problems.
I
can hear about
I don't want to talk about Festivus because I find tinsel distracting. So
when's Festivus? Is
I
that
don't know your
the
23rd?
Second, 23rd. Okay.
23rd.
Oh my gosh! What? Oh my gosh! The nose on this.
I had alcohol on our last show on Monday, and I didn't have anything like that weekend a couple days before. So this is like my first venture into it.
Oh my gosh!
And it's not a pleasant.
Who chose this? Oh my god!
That was my idea. Sorry, Ben. I'm regretting it too already.
I'm not. I'm excited for it. I'm ready to roll. Let's jump right into it. Let's get into it. Hey, who's joining us right here? Oh, Jennifer, my favorite person in the No family. It's a close race. There's a top 2, but because she loves eggnog, we love it.
Yeah.
Hey, the best eggnog. Let me just tell you guys, the best eggnog is Farm Stores. Farm Stores eggnog.
That sounds fancy.
Much better than TG Lee's crap. We picked TG Lee because it would be easy for both of us to find. So, anyway.
Oh my gosh!
And we picked five whiskeys to go with this TG Lee disaster. So we want to stick with. So I'm going to give the preview of what exactly we're going to be drinking. Let's see. So we went with Buffalo Trace, which quintessential classic bourbon. Then we went
supposed to nose eggnog. That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell eggnog.
Doing these in the snifter might be. There's a reason why people probably put them, or not the snifter, the Glencairn. Probably a reason why people put them in.
I have one that smells not like death.
Okay. So we're gonna do Buffalo Trace. We're gonna do Old Forester 100s. So both budget-ish bourbons, different proofs, different distilleries. We're gonna do Old Forester 1910, which is TJ's favorite, toasted. To see if a toasted finish shows up. We'll do Old Forester Rise, Old Forester Heavy. Wasn't really planned that way. To see how a rye, higher proof rye does. And then finally...
And then we got a banger.
Maybe a little blasphemous. No, we're not doing Pappy with eggnog, but it's not way too far down the line. We're going to do a allocated bourbon, high proof. I guess so. Stag Junior is what we're going to do with this eggnog.
What about ruin a great bourbon? This is how you ruin it. Right down the garbage disposal.
Don't do that. It'll mess up your garbage disposal.
Okay.
It is. Stag Junior is batch 14 for me and Ben. So I don't know what yours is, Brendan.
Let's see.
I hope it was.
How do I tell?
What's the proof on it?
127.9. There are a lot of oak.
That's 11 is what yours
11.
is.
Batch 11. Oh, vintage.
Yeah. It's not a good one to be wasted with. So,
no, the older ones are poopy.
I need to start doing this so I can rank mine because I'm going blind on this. Like I don't even know which mine are.
Good point. So Brendan and I are going to
know things.
Like talk about each one. We're going to go through one at a time and talk about them. We'll fly through these because I don't know how much people really care about this or not, and
Well, they might.
how much we can actually take. But Brendan and I will talk about these. Ben's going to just kind of zone out, go into his own little world, try and rank them blind. So we kind of have two things going on at once. It's like patting your head and rubbing your belly or something like that. Like that's kind of what we're doing here on the show. Ben's doing one thing, Brendan and I are doing the other. Brendan, where do you want to start? What did you just take a sip of?
Let's go
Hopefully
with
the
Buffalo
Old
Trace. I feel like that's the lowest proof and the most quintessential of the bourbon profiles that we
This is
have
the one,
here.
yeah. So this is the one I had last year. Ben, you're gonna have to chill over there because you're not
People don't want to
to
hear you throwing up into a microphone.
All right, Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace. Let's try it.
Cheers. Yeah. The eggnog really dominates. It's very custardy. It almost smells like and tastes like fettuccine alfredo to me.
Yum.
Ooh, the thickness, yeah. What I will say is we also didn't talk about how much of each we were doing.
Like how much, like what the ratio that we're doing? Is that
One part to what? Yeah.
I mean,
probably
I
done
did
that,
like
though.
maybe half a ounce of whiskey to like, I mean, how much is this? It's a lot of eggnog. Maybe 5-1, 6-1, probably more than that. Enough to where I can smell different things on each nose, knowing what's what.
Yeah. So the Buffalo Trace is it's not terrible, but it's not great.
I think it just kind of just the eggnog takes over for that. Like
the eggnog
eggnog's
definitely takes over. It's such a low proof. You would need to throw more Buffalo Trace in for it to make a massive difference. So like, it's not bad. It's just kind of it's alcoholic eggnog.
The eggnog takes over. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go to
Old Forester 100 now.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. So automatically on the nose of it, it smells more wood tanniny and bourbony. A little bit of like brown sugar there too. So that higher proof is showing up already. Yep, and I could taste the alcohol more prominently in it as well.
Oh,
that's amazing.
That alcohol actually comes through pretty well. Like a little bit of a finish on it. Like that's pretty good.
All right, that's enough. And so for people listening or watching at home, Buffalo Trace is 90 proof and about what, $25 to $30 for a bottle, depending on where you can find it.
But hard to find.
Old Forester 100 is everywhere and is $22 to $25. So right now, to the mixer, by and far, like Old Forester 100 better. Agree?
So,
TJ?
Yeah, and I have the handle of Old Forester, which is what Ben and I are drinking tonight. So, like, you can pick that up for like $35. You can literally make a massive. It's like Brendan's like falling over. It's literally like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation. Just make all the eggnog you want. So, yeah, that's a good one, I think. Okay. So, all right, Old Forester's an upgrade.
Yep, by far. So I'm pushing aside. I'm gonna end up. It's gonna be like King of the Hill style. So Buffalo Trace out of here. Old Forester's number one. Let's go to stick with the bourbon while we're there. 1910. That's going to be, what's the proof on it? That's Old Forester's
94,
toasted.
if I remember correctly.
93.
So kind of in the middle. 93. Yep. So kind of in the middle, lower side, but finished. I mean, it's the darkest of the four. I'm just looking over the bottles over there. It's the darkest of the four that we've done. The Stag's a little more, a little darker, it looks like. But yeah, wonder if the sweetness shows up there.
Woo. Yeah. So that custardiness that showed up with the Buffalo Trace and the eggnog prominence is there, but it's more, to me, refined in a way. Like it complements the eggnog beautifully. Ooh, I like that. Less alcohol bite with the lower proof, but more
better flavor. Much better flavor.
Mm-hmm. What would you say compared to
that's a good comparison because the 1910. I'm sorry, the Old Forester 100 has more like heft to it, but the 1910 has a better flavor profile without a doubt. So it's kind of, what are you going for? Are you going to get, blitzened, or are you trying to enjoy your drink? If you're trying to enjoy the drink, I think the 1910 tastes better. Obviously, I'm partial to 1910, so nobody's shocked by that take by me. But I mean, I think do you agree though? Like,
let's go to 1910 is just smoother with it. And if you have a better quality of eggnog, I think the 1910 would be a beautiful complementary. So if you have like Woodford Double Oaked, or you probably don't want to use Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel just because that's allocated. But yeah, if you have a toasted finished bourbon in your collection, mixing that with some eggnog, really good idea. Now, do we want to go, TJ, with the super high proofed one or the rye? Which one do we want to go to next? My guess is rye. I think we do. We save the high proof for last.
Save the big one for last. Yeah, the rye I'm very intrigued by. I'm very interested in kind of like what does it do to it? So we just got a big influx of viewers, listeners, watchers, whatever. So thank you guys
everyone.
for hanging out. We are testing different
chugging
bourbons.
about 1,000 eggnogs.
Yeah, testing. We're doing this is science, and we're doing this for the people, Ben. So relax.
Not science.
We are testing different eggnogs. I'll throw it up real quick. Old Forester 100, Old Forester 100 Rye, Buffalo Trace 1910, and that's a Stag Junior on the end. We're liking them so far. If you're just tuning in, again, to quick recap, the Buffalo Trace was pretty weak at a 90 proof. Old Forester 100 had a lot of heft to it. We think the 1910 tastes the best. We don't love the TG Lee eggnog. Probably should have gone with something a little bit nicer, but I didn't know what would be in both cities, both Tampa and Tallahassee. So needed something that would. Yeah. Okay. Old Forester 100 Rye. This is interesting.
The rye's funky. Ben, have you been able to, as you're keeping along with us and you're doing it blind, have you been able to discern anything that you're like, this is definitely blank?
I think I figured out. I think I figured them out, like overall. Like I would, if I was gonna guess and I'd bet on myself, I'm going 5 for 5 here.
Okay.
5.
I always
4 or
bet on
5.
myself, just for what it's worth.
Don't want to diminish your potential accomplishments, Ben, but I do think that it is interesting that the bourbons or other whiskeys in this case are all, so far as we go through 4 of them, are all pretty evident. Like the rye with this Old Forester rye that I would just drink. I don't know if you get this, TJ. Well, we will see. The rye spice comes out and that like herbally kind of rye flavor to me jumps out of the glass, and I don't think it goes particularly well with the eggnog.
Yeah, I actually don't hate it.
That's not awful.
It's huge,
You love rye and you love eggnog, so this would make sense. It's just they don't complement each other as well as the 1910.
Yeah, there's definitely a little funk there. I will say that this is better than what it could have been, because what we've talked about is this Old Forester 100 rye is a very vanilla and oaky type rye, a lot of depth. And so if we would have gone with like a more spearminty rye, that'd have been really, really weird.
Could have been
I think we would
disaster.
I think we'd have really hated that. So yeah, I'm pushing this back. Like there's no way this one's going to beat the 1910. And I probably even prefer the Old Forester 100 over it. And so like those two are the ones that are like still in contention. The Buffalo Trace has been kicked out. The Old Forester 100 rye has been kicked out, and now it's time for the big
Stag, big boy,
daddy.
So the nose to me isn't jumping out as much as like the Old Forester 100 did, which is odd given the proof difference, because my Stag Junior is 127.9 proof.
I think ours is like 130-ish. I don't have it right in front of me. It's over in this other room. Oh, it's definitely there on the taste, though. It's like a straight bourbon. It's like a straight bourbon with a dash of that's not a great mix.
I'm going to this. I thought that would be the clear winner, but the alcohol burn is too much.
The old drain pour, the Stag Junior.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to pour out the Stag Junior.
Sorry.
Oh no, there's no way I'm pouring it out. Like I'm just going to drink it. But
you're gonna drink all this eggnog?
There's bourbon in it.
I'm pouring out all of these. What? Other than the?
Are you?
Well, all right. So what do you think?
All right.
That's gross, isn't it, DJ? That's not good.
Yeah, it's not great. And what we could have done, we could have put more of the Buffalo Trace. We could have put less of the Stag. You could mix these to be a little bit better. But if you're using equal amounts of bourbon and eggnog, well, not equal as in 1-to-1 ratio, but if you're kind of like just comparing, hey, a shot of bourbon and a cup of eggnog, I think Harlan's saying
Harlan, listen up.
Harlan,
why don't you put some sleeves on, Harlan? I think that if you're comparing like that, yeah, that Stag is really tough. Jason said that's what you get for wasting the Stag Junior. You're probably right. You're probably right.
Super reasonable. Thank you,
Whiskey
Jason.
gods are frowning on us right now.
So let me try the 100 one more time.
Keep it 100.
I'm ready to guess.
Okay,
All right,
one
man.
second.
Yeah, he'll just sip on the eggnog.
1910's a clear winner. I think that's easy.
Before you guess, I agree with you, TJ, totally. For me, 1910 is not even close. Before you start guessing the bed, do you want to tell us which one your favorite is?
Okay,
blind?
so I think my favorite one is this one, and it has some like apple characteristics. I think this is Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
And I think this is my favorite. I think this one is 1910 because there's like a ton of marshmallow in it. And I think it's just too much. Like it's too marshmallowy, too charred. Like I don't want burned milk.
Does not sound
I'm
appetizing.
getting a ton of marshmallow in mine, but
No, I can see what he means. It's got like a very custardy and white, sweet taste to it. If that makes sense.
So anyway, and then I think this is the Stag Junior. It has a ton of cherry in it, and I think the cherry and the milk is what's throwing me off. Okay, so let me go from what I think. I really don't. I think this is the rye, or I think this is the rye, and I don't like it.
Maybe because
the rye is the worst.
The rye was super obvious and did not meld well with it.
Well, we'll see. Okay, so let's see how terrible I am. So I'm gonna guess this is Stag Junior. Yeah, Stag Junior, and it is
Old Forester 100.
So I'm shooting 0 for 1 there. Okay,
but you didn't like that. That was your least favorite.
Yeah, I thought it had a lot of cherry in it. So
okay, that
I think
happen with us with Old Forester.
I think this is the 1910, and that is Stag Junior.
Stag Junior. Okay. All right, over 2.
I didn't like this one either. That was not great.
Okay, but we said the same thing. We did not like the Stag Junior. Yeah. Now I don't know why you hated on the Old Forester 100 rye or the Old Forester 100 bourbon. Right.
Had a lot
Did you mix yours? Like I grabbed a spoon and mixed mine better.
I had a coffee like milk frother.
Ooh,
so you really mixed it.
Do it big.
Really mixed it. Okay, so this one I think is the Old Forester 100 rye. Yep. See, I'm right. 1910. Yep. So 0 for 3. Jesus. Great. Perfect. But if the last one over here.
That was your third best.
Yeah. If the last one over here is Buffalo Trace, it's my favorite, and I called it as Buffalo Trace. So, as long as this is not Buffalo Trace, then I'm still know it's best.
He's gonna like the rye best. Is what's gonna happen.
I will die. I will die.
I'm hoping this is the Old Forester rye. I thought this was the Old Forester 100, so it's not clearly. But okay. Oh no!
I can't see it. Can't see it.
Old Forester
rye. All right.
Yeah.
So the winner.
So the winner, Buffalo
Trace. The good news is I didn't give him Buffalo Trace in that. That's Basil Hayden.
No, it's not.
I swear I swear to you, that's Basil Hayden.
It's
not, is it?
No, but how amazing would that have been? Like, oh my gosh, the entire show comes full circle. Now I hate. Like, you know how people hate themselves? I legitimately hate myself for not doing that now. Like, now that I know that should have been what I did.
Well, anyway, I got Buffalo Trace right. It's the best because it has like a little apple and cinnamon to it. So it goes with the nutmeg and the
Let me try Buffalo Trace again.
Overall, this is a nightmare of an experiment. So don't ever do this. Just drink your whiskey. Skip the eggnog at Christmas and just drink regular whiskey. Oh, my gosh.
So what I'll say is Harlan's tweet. Go to your Twitter, Brendan. I love. I'm laughing at him. He's funny.
Shut up, Harlan. If it's about me, shut up.
I love eggnog, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I need to mix my eggnog with bourbon. Is that blasphemous? Like Jennifer said, she likes it by itself too. I like just regular eggnog, and I don't necessarily need something extra for it. So that said, if you get a good eggnog and throw a little Buffalo Trace in it, it is better. So Ben, I'll get a good eggnog.
No,
come over on Christmas afternoon at some point.
I send it back.
We'll try it. No, we're gonna try it. We're gonna see if
Buffalo
if we can
Trace,
convince you or
the
not.
clear winner here. At least
I
in
got
my
1910,
palate.
so you get voted
1910.
down.
Well,
But I do like that you did it blind.
yes.
But I think we try to be fair with it. Okay, that's enough of the eggnog. That's
Oh, God.
that's enough.
Hey guys, can I pour the
thought it was
eggnog
good.
down the drain? Is that something? It won't really clog
Ooh.
it, will it?
Let's mix it and drink.
Yeah, mix it all together. Just chill.
I'll
One,
just- I
one
poured
sip.
1910.
One sip. Everybody knows the rules. One sip. Everybody knows the
Too
rules.
soon for
We
the
haven't
soup
met.
fan base. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't met together since Brendan and my life ended last Wednesday. So prayers are appreciated. Jason,
Yeah, you guys are
Jennifer,
weird.
no. Listen, we're not weird.
Sports happened. Some
We're,
recruit.
hey,
guy
listen, we're
didn't
all
go to you
with our
guys.
free
We're
time.
not talking about it. We're not talking about it.
We're all
On my
chugging
other
eggnog
podcast.
right now. So.
Yeah, on my other podcast,
We're all
like
weird.
it was the name that must not be mentioned. So this is a
Voldemort.
prime time to talk about it, though.
I don't get
I don't know
it.
what that is.
Little delayed, but yeah, I mixed it all together. I got a big thing of eggnog.
Chug,
We're
the
gonna
whole
chug
thing.
this.
Chug the whole thing.
This is not what this show. That should not be what this show.
I'll
Chug.
give you $5. I'll give you $5.
$5?
$5.
Oh, no.
my gosh.
Oh,
no, you gotta finish it. You gotta finish that.
That's
thing.
not a real
Oh,
chug.
yeah.
That's
Ah! No.
Ooh.
What a nightmare. What a nightmare. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oof. Oof, buddy. All right.
Ah,
About
it's even more.
Yeah, that's more eggnog in there.
Yeah.
TJ's
Okay.
college days are
Oh man.
coming back to us.
We did a Spaces, Jason. Didn't call for TJ Fire. We did a Spaces on Wednesday and
Okay.
Thursday.
Jason. I was busy with a 7-hour
I don't know
long
what
live
Spaces
stream.
is.
No, you-
Sonone, Josh did a Spaces after signing day.
Josh is paid to do the spaces. Am I paid to do spaces?
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. You guys should get on the bench sponsored. Hey, so Josh told me
Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
last thing. Josh told me we had a sponsor for today's space, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome!" And then he starts reading it. It's like a THC thing, like it's like totally like a weed. I'm like,
Yeah, but-
"Oh, okay, very good. I can't wait to tweet this with my pastor following me and everything else." Like,
Do we
Oh,
get a
yeah,
sponsor?
Does Jesus not like marijuana? What's the
From the earth.
I think he was more of a drinker, water to wine, didn't turn water to leaf. You know, like
Water to beef. The beef and leaf.
Okay. What's next here? We've got a bunch of stuff going on tonight.
Ooh.
I wish I had an outline, but no one.
I got
Hopefully
it.
it's not more.
Do
eggnog.
we want to? We got a bunch of questions from the Twitter sphere from listeners and just bourbon fans in general, and we also we're going to dole out some advice to people looking to do some last minute holiday shopping for bourbon lovers in their lives.
Let's
So
do
we-
some Christmas Q&A. I like
Christmas
it.
Q&A. I like
Christmas
it.
Q&A.
But here's what we want. We don't want to go super long tonight, but
Yeah.
that's just it. Christmas Q&A.
Yeah.
Recommendations for last minute bourbon choppers.
Yep.
I do want to talk about our whiskey that we tried last night, Ben. Little whiskey
Sure.
bro night.
Something
And
like
I also want to talk about our pursuits and purchases. And Ben got to partake in an exciting
Oh boy,
behind the scenes thing.
there's no way
week
we're
or
keeping
so
this
ago.
under an hour, is there?
Okay.
We'll see.
Well,
It's a
let's
challenge.
see. Let's go rapid fire with these questions. Okay.
Rapid fire Q&A.
At Sean Bryan, hopefully you're listening. If not, you're dead to us. Looking for a nice bottle to enjoy with some family. Haven't gotten into anything past Jack Daniels and Elijah Craig, so open to ideas. Looking to maybe spend around $50 to $75.
Are we assuming he has access to the secondary, or are we assuming availability at ABC?
I do not believe there's anything in the secondary market that would be $75. Like
No,
I
I'm
think
saying,
everything.
are we assuming that people have access to the secondary, or are we just assuming ABC?
I would say, well, some
No,
questions
just-
for him.
this-
ABC.
every
Ben.
question is different.
Oh,
yeah, every
okay.
question is
Okay,
different.
that's fine.
So for him, he's saying he's spending $50 to $75.
Yeah.
If you're newer into whiskey, the guys are going to hate me for this, but I'm going 1910. I
I
think
was
for
about to
55
Pull that
for
up.
$55, it's my favorite. I know that I'm a whore with it, but it's cheap-ish, $55, good quality for that. You're not getting jacked around. You could find it pretty much anywhere.
Don't get
Old
jacked
Forester.
around. We'll see
Well,
that.
he's-
Go chug some more
he said he's
eggnog
been-
there.
He said he's been in a Jack. You didn't get the pun, did you? Way over both of your heads. But 1910. It's double finished in a charred barrel or a toasted barrel. Sorry, charred then toasted. Lighter proof 93. We just talked about a little easier to drink. Once you graduate to loving the high proof stuff, I think that you'll be maybe jumping into Ben's favorite, the 1920 or something like that. But for newer into whiskey, 1910 is the easy call for me. You guys want to vary or?
No, I think that's a great suggestion. I was going to say Four Roses single barrel because it's 100 proof. So you're kind of jumping up a little bit there. It's in that price range. I think it's pretty versatile as a crowd pleaser. So people with different experiences with bourbon would probably like that. It doesn't drink like 100 proof though. It's a really good transition whiskey from beginner to intermediate. So that would be my suggestion. But
this is 50 to 75, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put some other options in here for you. How about instead of going single barrel, go single barrel small batch select. That's $60, and you get a little more. That's like the next step up from the single barrel, which is usually 55. That's been extra couple of dollars. I don't think it's super high.
I think it's below 100.
Yeah, you're not stepping into more than 100 proof. How about you also have access to a Rendezvous rye. That's like in the $60 range as well.
If they've only done Jack, if they've only done Jack Daniels, no, but if you've never done a rye before, that might be aggressive.
It's a big rye to jump into.
I'm just saying I'm giving you additional options here. How about a Baker's
the Four Roses small
stave profile?
That's a lot too. You're talking somebody about 110 proof if they've only ever done Jack or Elijah Craig. A lot.
Jeez.
A lot to jump into.
Yeah.
Another suggestion: if you can't find the 1910, Woodford Double Oaked. Very drinkable, very easy.
Yeah.
Shout out my cousin hanging out tonight, my man.
Hi, Zach.
Shout out Zach. I think Woodford Double Oaked would be a really good one too. Little nicer bottle than just kind of regular stuff. So there's a few for you to consider.
Valid.
Next question before Ben gives you another banger that's impossible to find and a million proof.
Neither of those are bangers.
Maker staves can be a banger. Let's keep it a buck. Also, store picks. Store picks are great. Run by your local store.
Not for.
Yeah, but you could find lighter store picks. That's not true. We got the
that's true. Yeah,
Woodford Reserve Rye. We've had the Elijah Craig store picks. There's different things out there. Yeah. Run by your local store, not an ABC. Ask them for some store picks that they've had. If you're in Tampa, you go by gas bars, drop our name, Bourbon on a Budget, you get $5 off. We also love Lukens. We love Davidoff. We love Burns. Go check all of those out. Real stuff. Okay, Mark Bradford, 25. Flying to the UK. Oh, this is good. Flying for the UK for Christmas and picking up my antique crystal decanters and glasses. What would be a suitable companion I can bring them back with? They are a set of 3 decanters, so very choice would be appreciated. It's for special occasions, not a daily sipper, I assume is what he was saying there. Daily tipple? I don't know what that means. Is it possible to find a decent bottle for $100? Johnny Walker lineup is my normal go-to. Jameson if I'm needing to warm the cockles. 3 whiskeys, $100 each, 1 bourbon, 1 Scotch, 1 Irish. So here's going to be my takeaway here. I'm going to go off course. I'm going to let Brendan answer the question like you want him to answer. But if you've seen the reels and stuff, I don't understand the assignment here. And here's why. Well, let me ask Brendan something first. I know that there are bourbons in England right now, in London and stuff that, in the UK that you cannot find here as accessible. You can get better. Is that the same for Scotch? Or the Scotch is over there, basically what you find over here? And same for Irish. Are the Irish over
more
there?
Accessible. Scotch and Irish are more accessible in the UK and less money, I think, comparatively to bourbon because you're having to import. And then it's kind of the opposite of here where there's going to be higher rate for Scotch or Irish whiskeys compared to bourbon, which you're not having to export it. So, and we're going to have to address this. There's someone else from the UK who was interested as well. So there's another question. So I don't know if Mark's buying the whiskey in the UK and bringing it back to the stateside based on the question. So I'm not entirely sure. So
I think so.
That's kind of what I understand it as well. But so let's say reasonably within $20 for us, not converting to pounds or whatnot, what we think they can get for 100-ish. I don't know if they can get allocated, bourbon over in the UK, but let's just say something that's a higher quality bourbon is accessible there.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you can find any kind of special blends, I'd go with that. Like if you find a Blanton's
That's a
Gold,
good one.
if you
Yeah.
could find a Blanton straight from the barrel, that's one that I love. The straight from the barrel is probably going to run you closer to 125, 150, so you're getting up over that. But it's well over 250 here on the secondary market, and you cannot find it in the States.
But
unless
Mark
you're
is
paying
going to
secondary.
put that in his decanter. Would you? One of the best parts of Blanton's is that
I'd bring that
bottle.
bottle home with me. I'd bring that bottle home with me without a doubt.
Okay.
And so to me, I'm not really decanting good whiskey just for what it's worth. Like I'm not taking good whiskey out of the bottle that it was in and meant to be. So I think that I'm not decanting. If it's a Scotch, and that's a big thing. If it's a Scotch, I don't know how many Scotches there are over in the UK that are like you can't find here because I just don't know Scotch. I also don't know the same thing about Irish whiskey. Like, are there a bunch of Irish whiskeys? I'm sure there are some in Ireland that you can't find here, but like, are those sought after? It's hard for me to know what those are to go grab. So I would say to try and find some. I would just try and find 3 allocated bourbons and do that
and have it. I would say so.
I'm just my best advice.
But he is so Mark is looking to upgrade from like the Johnny Walker collection and then the Irish Jameson. So what I would say for at least Irish and Scotch, so Irish whiskey upgrade in the $100 range would be Redbreast Cask Strength. We love that. It's awesome.
Love that.
About Irish whiskey just amplified and at least here stateside. So I imagine UK you could find that pretty easily. And again, in that price range you're looking for, not a great looking bottle either. So nothing wrong with putting that in decanter. Scotch, I mean, Glenmorangie, 18 years, about $100 here, and that's a really pretty rich, really solid Scotch. It's not. I feel like if you're putting a decanter, there's something cool about doing something that's like heavily sherried in there, so that like that ruby red really shows up. So like any kind of Macallan product is probably like a cool step forward. Some of the Johnny Walker stuff is peated, but not heavily. So I'm not sure if that's something you want to look at, Mark. But yeah, I think any Macallan product or Glenmorangie 18 would be worthwhile for a decanter. It'd be cool. And then bourbon, TJ mentioned already.
Ben, do you have any thoughts? See, I just don't know Scotch or Irish, so it's hard for me to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of decanting nice product either. When I'm sharing really nice stuff, it's nice to be able to like bring the bottle out, pour from the bottle, talk about the bottle, as opposed to just talking about the nice crystal decanter set, which I'm sure is nice. I would struggle with like not having buying a Blanton's and pouring it into another bottle. Like you're spending at least half of the value is that bottle. So I don't know. I'm not a fan here. I don't understand this question. I disagree. I send it back.
Sorry,
Mark.
Mark. All right. Thanks for asking, Mark. Ben's
Macallan 12-year sherry oak is what Jason says here.
That's a good one. Yeah. Ben had asked me about a Scotch suggestion earlier today for a president, and I think Macallan's a really safe bet because it's good quality. Yeah, it's good.
Sean Bryan looking. Oh no, we already did that.
Oh my God, TJ's drunk off of the Egg Nog.
I didn't realize you threw all the questions back together into one thing. Jacob Smith 70, best weeded bourbon. Tipsy whiskey shenanigans. My guys.
I asked him if to clarify if price was a factor. He said a suggestion for price not being a factor, and then a budgety wheat. So let's start with the budgety, fiscally responsible wheat.
Maker's Cask Strength is probably what I'm going with in that one. We've talked about it before. Chocolate chip pancakes all the time. Really, really good bourbon. If you're not in Florida and you could pick up a Old Weller Antique, that'd be one that I'd certainly suggest. Really good, about 170 proof, a little easier to drink. I know that those are not like the special reserves that are flying around everywhere, but if you're not in Florida, I think you can find that one fairly easily.
I got this.
Yeah,
the Old Elk that you guys got me.
There.
The Old Elk you guys got me. Still look for store picks of Old Elk weeded. This is really good quality. What was it, like about $60-$70 or so? You don't have to tell me. That was a present. Yeah, it's really good quality. And a cool little top too to it.
Yeah.
So
I've got any Maker's Dave profile. Like any Maker's pick is going to be great. It'll be better than any Weller product under foolproof, but that's me.
Yeah, and I like that pick too. I like that call too. If you're not super familiar with your local store doesn't have a maker's pick, I'd go with the maker's cast strength.
Yeah.
But if there's a maker's pick there, I'm pretty typically going to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Price on an option, I'm spending $1,700 on a William LaRue Weller.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
If I had, or I guess a Pappy 15, whatever, like one of those, but the secondary and what you're really going to pay for those is between, $1,500 and $2,000. And so, if I had FU money and could drop $1,500 on a bottle of whiskey and not feel bad about it, I mean, yeah, that's what I would do. But that's not. I'm not quite in Brendan's budget just yet.
With due time, TJ. With due time.
Go hiring 247.
Not currently.
Okay, maybe soon. Brendan, you have a big one that you would suggest people to go after?
Yeah, maybe go find a William LaRue Weller. Go for it. More realistically, things that might be a couple $100 you'd actually see out there potentially. Larceny barrel proof, maybe if that got jacked up on the secondary price, is really good. Should be like $60 or $70, but probably if you see it out there, probably at this point be jacked up to like 150 or so. Weller full proof, if you can maybe see it out there, but that would probably be like
that'd be the only thing that's like okay. That'd be the only thing between those two.
There's not a whole lot of in between with the weeded category.
Weller 12, it's like $220.
Yeah, but that's hard.
I would still do the makers.
That's not sure. I've seen it once for 200.
I would still do the Pappy. All right,
Hard life.
Jack, good
Daniels.
one. The wife is slowly getting into whiskey, kicking and screaming, but opens up to the sweeter, more subtle drams. I'd love to explore the sweeter side of bourbon, as we're almost exclusively stocked up with Scottish single malts, top man, and ideally cheap, intermediate, and premium options. Jack is from the UK. If you're looking for sweeter, we've kind of talked about it. The different double, I would get her something that's finished a second time. I don't know, obviously, what the selection is out there. I'm sure that they have Woodford double oaked. That'd probably be the most accessible one that you could find. That's a sweet, more subtle bourbon. A lot of brown sugar on that. Very sweet characteristics. 1910 is obviously another one that we've continued to mention as a very sweet one, very approachable, very easy. I don't know that you can get Old Forester 1910 in the UK. If you can, obviously that's typically going to be my suggestion. Anything finished in a wine barrel should be really, really good. Just like you have your scotches that are finished in wine barrels. If you can find a bourbon finished in a wine barrel, whether that be,
Angel's Envy is a good, like that
Angel's
probably be
Envy would be a
accessible.
great one, that's finished in a barrel. So
lower price
finish.
too.
Yeah, I think that we talked about the makers. They're not going to find makers Dave profiles. I wouldn't think over there.
No,
the
but
makers
Maker's
cast strength. If you could find the maker's cast strength and then they just flick a little water or an ice cube into it, it would chill it out some. It's pretty high proof, and so that can be tough. But you can kind of work on that a little bit to get it a little lower. So that's kind of those would be my suggestions. Now that I gave a 17 suggestions, Ben, what do you think?
So if we're going to do cheap, intermediate, and premium, cheap, how about a Jim Beam double oaked? It's $19.99.
There you go.
Super cheap, right? It's like your cheapest double oaked product out there. Intermediate, how about? I'm kind of struggling. Yeah, intermediate, you're going 1910 or double oaked, but the premium, how about a Midwinter Night's Dram? Lower proof. It's outrageously sweet. So sweet. Palate overwhelmingly sweet. So those are my three.
If they have Midwinter Night Dram in the UK, I'll be really pissed. Like, it needs to be accessible here and there.
I mean, if you're spending premium money, you can get it shipped anywhere you want.
You ain't wrong. That's a good list. Good list. No, the only other thing I would add is maybe in like the intermediate range for the makers. I like TJ's idea of like more expensive for the maker's cast strength or the maker's 46 cast strength if that's over there. But even just maker's 46 has a nice sweet profile, a lot of brown sugar pancake type of vibe too. That I would imagine would probably be accessible beyond just here statewide.
A Michter's 10 bourbon would also be pretty sweet. It's lower proof, also in the premium range, but.
It's hard to know. It's hard to answer some of these questions because I don't know what
region.
I don't know what they have over in the UK.
If they have Michter's American whiskey over there, it's really vanilla forward and about $45 here. So that's probably
or a sour mash.
Okay, Seminole CPA looking for a bourbon/rye for someone that is a bit of a proof hound. Please do not suggest Eagle Rare. One
a proof hound
or Basil Hayden.
Proof.
One. So if I'm reading this correctly, one likes toasty bourbons and one has an unlimited budget for allocated bourbons. I'll hang up and listen.
Jeez.
Jason,
so they want proof.
Jason had a recommendation in the Twitter feed that really just he stole my thunder. So Jason, if you want to throw that in the comments section, I thought that was just exactly what it was supposed to be. But go ahead, TJ, for now. See if you and Jason are on the same wavelength.
I get 2 bottles of Michter's Toasted Barrel Strength Rye, and then you're killing both birds with one stone. It's an allocated, it's high proof, it's toasted. Get 2 bottles of that, give both of them one. If one of them doesn't want the toasted, maybe go with just a regular Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. That's not an unlimited budget type thing. I think you can get that for like $200, $250 secondary.
Yeah.
So you're not having to kill yourself with that. But I do think that those would be good ones. Jason, that's a good one there. Yeah, the Penelope Barrel Proof Toasted. That's a good one. If you can find that, that's tougher because a lot of times it's a store pick to find.
Are both of these unlimited budget?
No, one's unlimited budget and one likes toasty.
Oh, okay. So if I'm going for a proof hound with no limit on budget, I would probably be attacking, and we're going after something that you can find this year. I'd probably go after a Jack Daniel's Coy Hill. You're at it's hazmat. You're going to spend money trying to find it.
$5.50 second.
Yeah. So you spend a lot of money, but I like having the hazardous materials sticker on it. It's a boss move, bringing that out at a party, and it's amazing proof. So that would be me. If I'm a proof hound and I'm going after something crazy expensive, sure, you have your Stag Juniors, sure, you have all your BTAC. But I still think I'd be going after, if you don't have any BTAC, go and grab a BTAC, go and grab George T. Stag or Sazerac 17 or
important
whatever.
Eggnog.
Yeah, important Eggnog.
I like that.
I think one person, one step inside of the typical, everyone goes after BTAC and stuff. I would probably like the Jack Daniel's Coy Hill, mostly because I'm looking for that as well, and I'm a proof hound. So, but I think toasty. I think TJ's on here going for the toasted rye for Michter's. That's great.
Yeah, I think so. Brendan.
Jason stole what I initially thought of when I saw the question on Twitter, and that was the Penelope barrel proof toasted. That's great, and especially at the price point. What was it, TJ? Like $60-$70? Yeah, really, really good. The only other one, if you can find it and you have $100 to $200 to spend on it, Wild Turkey 1, which we reviewed, that you guys shared with me. It hits both for those kind of a little bit too, where it's toasted and allocated. Beautiful bottle and something cool to have in the collection, and very good quality too. Would be the only.
That's a great option. Really good option.
Thank you.
Last one. Socialist Hawkinge J-Rod here. Something. Oh, this is an easy one. Something in the $50 to $60 range for my stepdad who likes Maker's Mark and Gentleman Jack and loves his Pappy. A Maker's Stave profile.
Yeah,
really, really easy. He loves Maker's, so you're getting him a little bit better one. Likes Pappy, which a lot of the Pappies are higher proofs. You're staying weeded. Gentleman's Jack, we talked about, had a really, really good flavor. It was just very, very, very proof down, which we did not like. It was so weak, but still had that banana kind of Jack Daniel's finish that we talk about. You can find some Maker's Stave profile stuff that have that kind of banana characteristic to it. That'd be my suggestion. I know that we kind of just bounced around the same things, but you can tell what we like, I guess.
Yeah. TJ, your thoughts on socialism?
Well, I don't know that there's too many societies that still exist with, socialism as their main, method of transportation here. But
I was joking. Keep it rolling.
Well, shouldn't have asked. I've had a lot of eggnog.
Got a lot of eggnog.
Shitter's full, Clark.
To the Maker's Mark. The other cool thing about giving it as a gift is It's probably gonna be branded if it's a store pick, which it will be if it's a state profile. They brand those pretty well. Like they call it glazed donuts or cannoli or something like that. And you like, hey, here's a present that says cannoli on it. Like that just adds a little extra.
Yeah.
The old cannoli.
Yeah. Brandon loves giving people the old cannoli.
Give them the cannoli.
I love. Okay. Leave it done. Take the gun. Take the gun. Shoot. Shoot is.
I'm gonna make an offer. I'm gonna make an offer that you can't refuse.
Okay, you just sounded like you had it. Never mind. Not gonna say it. You just sound like you had some trouble there. Yeah, I think if I found a Maker's State profile that said something like the Bananas Foster or Creme Brulee or something, like I'd be all over it. Creme Brulee I have. Never mind. I like that one. But like a Bananas Foster would be fantastic. Okay, that's all our questions. 45 minutes, and we've got like 4 segments left.
Perfect.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
For myself,
No.
TJ.
Okay, let's do this quicker.
I don't have work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Same, but I do. If you are looking for last-minute Christmas presents, bourbon-wise, I think, we got to distinguish this a little bit. One is for just, all right, get 3 gifts. One is for your non-experienced drinker, like somebody that you're newer into whiskey, intermediate, and then the tough one, like me or you. Like if I was trying to buy Ben a bourbon right now for Christmas, it's tough, right?
That's
if
good.
Melissa came to me right now and said, what do I get him for Christmas bourbon-wise? I'd be like, he's got access to everything, within reason, right? So, yeah, let's do it. Let's go around the horn. Who wants to go first? Cheap one. Somebody's just getting into whiskey.
I'll go first. The answer for all 3 of these, Basil Hayden.
That's it. You hear that? Ben wants Basil Hayden for Christmas.
Basil Hayden.
I got him.
Okay, so somebody that doesn't know anything about bourbon that wants to get into bourbon.
Very little. Yeah.
I would probably go. Dang it! I'm going to go Old Forester 100. It's the cheapest. You guys hate the fact that I like proof on gifts, but too bad they're getting it 100 proof.
Ben wants to get someone a screw top for Christmas. Think about that. He wants someone to have to pick off this little dainty aluminum foil screw top.
It's beginner. Okay.
So beginner for me, I'm probably getting them a Buffalo Trace or Eagle Rare. It's very easy to drink. They're not impossible to find. And I would pay it's Christmas. So I would even pay a little bit more on the secondary market to get them like a Buffalo Trace or Eagle Rare, because I think that they would value that gift. I think oh wow, you found Buffalo Trace, or oh, you found Eagle Rare. I would do that. Eagle Rare on the secondary market, you're gonna find it $50-$60. Not that big of a deal. I'll pay a little extra.
Yeah.
Brendan.
I'm sorry. Ben has such a great palate and whiskey acumen. He is so bad at these prompts.
These are great. Number 2. Okay, I'm going to go intermediate then, because Brendan's a dingus over here.
Buffalo Trace is the first one.
Jeez. No, this is such a waste. This is such a waste. Intermediate is getting Eagle.
Wait, did Brendan go?
Yes, he said Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace is what I would have done.
Yeah. Intermediate is getting Eagle Rare.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's all the same. They're both.
You guys are wasting so much time and effort on a beginner.
Intermediate probably
understand or appreciate it.
Yeah, intermediate probably getting a store pick from me. Not sure what. That's kind of I'm going to probably run by Gas Bars or Davidoff and get them a store pick. And that's probably where I'm going to be on that one. Ben said Eagle Rare, so no.
Yeah. 4 Roses, a single barrel would be an option, just super classy, and everyone's going to know what it is. Or maybe if you want to like amp it up a little bit and be like, hey, you want to try something higher proof, kind of dip your toes into that water, a Wild Turkey Rare Breed would be the pick there. I think that's reasonable.
I don't hate that pick.
Okay, this is the toughest one to me, right? Because the other ones don't really matter. Like they don't know what they don't know, right? What do you get for you have 2 days, 3 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
What are you getting for the experienced person?
Store pick. You're going to go and grab your best store pick. The fact that you're doing it for intermediate level, man. Intermediate level, man.
I am totally in agreement with
that's what it
Ben.
is.
Yep,
Store
that's
pick is where
right.
it's at.
Here's where I don't love that. And I've
Okay.
got two thoughts.
Yes.
I'm either doing a store pick bundle because for this advanced person, they
How
have
much are
a
you
lot.
spending on just a random
I was
person
gonna
who
say
likes
like
bourbon?
$100 tops is what you're doing for this.
$100.
Yeah, I was thinking, depending on who it is, right?
I was
Like,
thinking
and
30,
what your budget
50,
looks like.
75
Oh,
max.
Now, if you're dealing with
Way
like
poorer than
an
TJ.
experienced bourbon drinker, they have a lot of local store picks, and I
Mhm.
don't think you're impressing them with a local store pick. I think that a good suggestion for them would be to maybe seek out in some different groups or the Bourbon Dump Date website, maybe a sentimental gift. Maybe get them a Blanton's that has a date that would be significant in their life, whether that be an anniversary, the birth of a child, something like that. That would be a cool one because then you're not having to buy them a Pappy Van Winkle. It's something that they look at and they're like, oh, that's a cool gift. So I don't know. That's probably what I'm going with. Or I'm getting them something on the secondary market because I'm not a cheapskate like Ben that I know they'll enjoy. Not like $500
Is this
in the secondary
is this
market.
like your dad? Are you assuming that this is like a dad or a direct relative? Because this is just a friend of mine.
Oh no,
I'm
I was
not
thinking
searching out dump dates.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a
You have
good.
2 days. You said you have 2 days to get this
It's
thing.
It's like 4. It's like
You're
4.
gonna get this thing in 2 days.
I think like if you guys were to be like, hey Brendan, here's a local maker's stave pick from us, I'd be super psyched about that.
Oh, exactly. I'd be so
You're not
happy
getting
about that.
So screw you.
I'd be so happy about that.
I got a Booker's for Christmas last year from my mother-in-law.
Yeah, not bad.
Like that's a good Christmas present, right? Like I was super
Yeah,
psyched about
I would
this.
take that.
I was drinking this at 10 a.m. On Christmas Day because that's what I got for. I opened
If you're
it
a
up
bourbon beginner, I'm giving you an Old Forester 100, and everyone would freaking love it. That is the way to go.
The reason why Buffalo Trace is because like that's so synonymous with whiskey and bourbon. Like everyone knows what Buffalo Trace is. Everyone, if you're new to it, you're gonna think it's a super great gift. And it's like it's okay.
Right. That's why I'm giving that's why I'm giving Eagle Rare. It's intermediate. Because
What about Basil? What about Basil Hayden? Because you love that as much as
I was almost considering Basil Hayden for beginner, but it's $45. That's freaking way too much money to spend on a beginner. I'll tell you that much.
Next topic. You guys are welcome if you're doing last minute Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Pursuits and purchases. What are you looking for right now, Brendan?
What am I looking for? I don't know what I'm looking for. Do you want me to tell you what I purchased, or do you want me to wait for that?
Sure, go for it.
Well, Coy Hill is something that I am looking for you guys, and it's up here in Tallahassee. I just missed it today. Apparently, it dropped at 80.
You had one job.
But I kind of tipped you guys off that was happening, and the only person who's benefited from that is Joe Decadence. So
thanks, Joe.
In terms
Decadence
of
himself.
Purchases, so I got a couple of the TJ. What is it? The Goose Island bourbon.
Bourbon County, yeah.
I got like an old 2019 one that I found that looked interesting, and I got a 2021 as well that was finished in cherry oak. So I got those, and then I also got so this one I was picking up a Four Roses single barrel store pick for Pravar. Is it Pravar? I'm sorry, I don't.
Providence.
No, what is it, TJ?
Pravar.
I was picking that up for him at the ABC. And as I'm checking out, this, I guess I would say elderly woman was getting a bottle of Blackened for her son for Christmas. It's not a bad intermediate to beginner one, right? It's a little different. But it rang up at $130. And she was like, what? That's much more than I was expecting to spend. And I'm sitting there watching it. It was a bottle of Blackened Willet, which is, I don't want to say allocated, but a special release.
Oh, it's very allocated. Yeah.
And I'm seeing this happen.
Picks is allocated.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. When you got a lot of money,
remember his pack.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 days. I have 2 days to go buy this.
Smoke Wagon is not allocated. And anyway, so I'm watching this all happen, and I'm like,
Florida.
This lady, oh my god, this lady does not know what she's trying to purchase, and she can't understand what the disconnect is. And the woman's trying to explain it, and I was like, ma'am, if I could explain real quick, that Blackened is like a $40 bottle, and this is like a special version of it that's $130. So it's not quite the same. Apparently it's really good. Your son may end up loving that, but it is expensive. And she's like, I just want the normal one. Apparently, this one went behind the counter at ABC where you're not supposed to go, and found it somehow and picked it out and was trying to ring it
I
up.
got to do that more often.
Yeah,
I was like, hey,
there.
and as that was all happening, I was
see
like,
now.
hey, I'm like, if she doesn't want this, can I have it? And they're like, yeah. And so I got Blackened Willet. I was doing a good deed for a friend, and even though I can't pronounce his name correctly, and got this. So that was one thing that I got. And it was MSRP, if not less than, which was nice. The other bottle that I got this last week was, I wish we had gotten this during our finish series. Old Scouts Port Cask finish. Oh, that was a good one. I should have made that joke. It's a rye finished in port cask. It is 103 proof. So much like the MGP juice that is in the Midwinter Night Dram that we all loved, this is also MGP juice. It's from Indiana. It's priced half of it. It's $45, I think. So it's sort of a great like round 1 or round 2 contender. So it's one I'm excited to open up and try. I think it'll probably be a suitable replacement for those who can't get a handle on the Midwinter Night Dram. So that's what I got.
A handle? Another good one.
They don't sell those in handles.
Ben.
I just want Coy Hill.
Okay. Myself.
Dude.
I want Coy Hill for sure.
I like that it's on both of your radars now, like super like prominently.
It's been on my radar.
But like now it's like
it so that I can flex on Ben. I want it.
I know you don't even want it that much.
I know.
I want it.
I'm gonna pop it too without
Ben,
him.
if I find it, I'll give it to you, not TJ.
Yeah.
I'm the one. No. I'm the one that gave up my midwinters for you guys. I get the next favor in this family.
That's also reasonable. No, he did. Oh man, but then he ended up getting the.
Yeah, I mean,
after everyone else.
I was last. True. Oh boy. Well, you guys are neighbors. You can share.
Sorry, TJ. Yeah.
How's
no, let's go.
I need to also. Jason and Jennifer did share a bunch of samples, not the Coy Hill, but a bunch of really intriguing Balcona stuff that I have to get to you guys. So thank you, House No.
Let's go.
Appreciate it. Let's know.
All right. No more of that.
No.
So I am looking for the Coy Hill as well. I recently had a situation where I went to ABC, was there to pick up a Four Roses barrel strength store pick, and they had already sold it. And so it wasn't there at the store. I was kind of sick and just kind of like said like, it just sucks that I just drove 2 hours round trip to basically go home with nothing. And the manager walked out from behind the counter and said like, hey, would you like to buy this instead? Handed me a Jack Daniel's 10-year, which is a new release. I really, really wanted to say, got any Coy Hill instead of that? But I didn't. I let it go. I ended up walking away with it. And I haven't popped it yet. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'm going to trade it or not. But kind of a cool, fun, I like the Four Roses. So I really would like to have that. But the Jack 10 was a nice, I guess, replacement for that. And since I didn't end up getting to get it. Ben, you've got a minute and a half, and then we're out of here. But talk to us about your little tasting you did the other day.
Yeah, so we have been talking with Jimmy over at Gas Bars about trying to team up together and do a little store pick action. And we got the call that we were going to be able to choose one. And so TJ decided that he was going to get sick that day. So what a nightmare that became. So he ended up not going because he got sick. I sat in as a third-party participant, just kind of getting an idea of what the barrel picking process was like, kind of just taking some notes, and we'll put some pictures out in a couple days. But I sat in on a Woodinville cask strength store pick. And I'll tell you what, you go in there and they set out 4 different barrels or 4 different samples from 4 different barrels. And they're all relatively similar proof. Ages vary a little bit, not a ton of variation, at least in the Woodinville line. There was not a ton of variation of age. And you go in there and you think like, man, I'm gonna be a boss here. I'm gonna pick out all the notes and whatever. And it is way more difficult than you would expect. Just walking in, kind of going there blind. It was also at like 10 in the morning. So we had to like wake up and get our pallets ready and that kind of stuff. So very interesting experience. You learn a lot. There's a lot of conversations that happen on the business side of it versus the just the tasting side. So they're asking about, what is the overall cost of the barrel? What's the number of bottles? What's the general yield on that barrel? Because some distilleries, barrel in different size barrels. That was unique. So it's really nice seeing a little bit of the business side of it as well as just the tasting. And because at the end of the day, you're trying to pick bottles that will be sold, and you're going to want them to be, really highly liked or, appreciated by the people that are buying them. And so you may be saying, ooh, I like the funk of this bottle or the funk of this barrel, but that may not be as appealing to everyone else. And so I think it's kind of understanding your buyer base for each of your, picks that you do. But also kind of representing like the best of a specific brand, so it's really cool. That being said, stay tuned. We are in the process of trying to figure out, at least not trying to get TJ sick a day, and see if we can get Brandon down here. And we're going to try to figure out how to get a barrel pick chosen. So hopefully that's in the works, coming out. Hopefully
it's definitely in the
future.
works. Shout out my guy Brad. It's
awesome.
Happening soon.
So get your wallets ready. Start saving up.
We
need to strike. We need to be ready to strike on Gaspers.
We want to make a statement that Gaspars has never
La
stated
Statamente.
Yeah. I'll just get my dad to buy them all.
Eggnog flavor whiskey.
Eggnog flavor bourbon. Okay. Yeah, I just saw this on social media and wanted to see if you guys could relate with it at all. You ready?
No.
Ready?
Yes, I'm relating.
Ready?
Your wife's sitting in the room watching you take pictures of your whiskey. Yeah.
Ben and I will
Shout out, Kara.
move all of Melissa's decorations. We angle it just right, make sure it's in portrait mode.
Yeah.
Sorry, Owen. Push you off the table.
Yeah.
Lock Elena in the closet. Yeah. So anyway,
my wife does art therapy, so she's much more cool with me doing the pictures and stuff. She appreciates the art aspect much more than me. Here, smell this. What are you getting out of this? So the art, the picture, she actually tolerates much more than the drinking aspect of.
Nice.
Oh, one more thing and we'll get out of here. We're just over an hour, so we're not actually doing too bad on this. But last night we had a little bit of a tasting at my house. It's Christmas week, we have one more thing after this. Sorry, guys, we're gonna keep going.
Oh my God.
Tonight. It's Christmas week, and I feel like this is just kind of a good time to drink some of your allocated whiskeys. You've been sitting on them all year, or you've been drinking, I don't know when you're typically popping some of this stuff open, but last night we tried both the Michter's Barrel Strength, the Michter's Toasted Barrel Rye. We had an E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. We had George C. Stagg, and we had Thomas H. Handy. Posted a picture of it on social media. Hey, it's the holidays. It is, time for you to spend with your friends and family. And when you have those people around, I'm not telling you what to do with your whiskey, but there's no better time than now to pop it open. Obviously, if you're celebrating something another time of the year, whether that be a birthday, an anniversary, something momentous that happened in your life, whatever, new job, those are great times as well. But man, at the holidays, it is a beautiful time to let people know that you appreciate them and pour them some good whiskey. So we had a good time with Johnny last night, trying some different things. We finished off with a beer that was finished in a couple of different barrels. I believe it's a Weller barrel, an Elijah Craig barrel, and a rum barrel. So triple barrel finished.
What
fantastic.
Beer was it?
Angry Cherry down in Tampa.
Angry Cherry down here in Tampa. It was their release for their anniversary, 6th or 7th anniversary that they have. Really, really good.
Awesome.
I've got some really good beers finished like that, Brendan, for the next time you're down and you can stay a little bit longer. Those are a ton of fun.
Sleepover.
Yeah, Ben's house.
In the ravine.
So that said, boys, what is what's your Christmas pour? Ben's got a big one for Christmas Eve. You can come over on Christmas night and share mine with me if you're done wrapped up with your family stuff. But what's your Christmas pour, Brendan? And Ben, you can go, then I'll finish it up.
My Michter's it was a cask strength, barrel strength rye is one that I would like to uncork. I haven't opened it yet, so that's probably up there for either the Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. And honestly, the blackened is one that Joe Decadent said was great. I was not sure if I wanted to trade this or get into it, but I think this would be a really nice like Christmas. It's cask strength rye finished in Madeira cask, so I think that'd be awesome for like Christmas Eve. So either of those, I'll probably rotate Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Ben, what about you? What are you sharing?
Michter's Tin Rye, baby. Been sitting on this thing for like months. It's been a long time that I've had this thing, so I'm ready to uncork it and try it and experience the goodness.
Oh, I think it's funny that we both are going with the
Michter's
allocated ryes and the Michter's specifically. But it feels very Christmassy, doesn't it? Like just the warmth of the spice. And
also, the bottle is like green and red. And
yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah,
so Christmas. Yeah.
Makes sense. TJ, what about you?
One of my favorite things about Christmas, and I know you guys won't relate to this at all, but having been a big Lakers, that's big. Having been a big Lakers fan, the Lakers always play on Christmas Day. It's always obviously a big game. We've played everyone from the Celtics to when Shaq left, and they played the Heat a couple of years, and really, really big. And so I have this Good Times rye, the toasted barrel. It's the purple and gold. It's the Kobe Bryant edition, the 24 and the 8. Obviously his titles there. KG and Tim Duncan and MJ are on that as well. Kobe going to the Hall of Fame is the theme there. So that's a cool one for Christmas night. We play the Knicks on Christmas night. I feel like when the Lakers are playing on Christmas, that's a fun one to drink then. Brendan mentioned this the other day. We should have reviewed this. Maybe we will have a little review coming out for you guys, but Yippee-ki-yay, MFs. I think that's a good one for Christmas Eve. There's a big debate going around whether or not that's a Christmas movie or not. But whether it is or isn't, it does take place on Christmas Eve. And so give me a yippee-ki-yay on Christmas Eve. Ben, when you get done, you can come over and get a little pour of that too. So anyway, closing thoughts before we get out of here.
What about 3 Chords Strange collaboration for Christmas Eve? A little Pinot Noir finish.
I'm probably not doing that.
I'm looking at it right now.
The bottle.
I have it.
That's you. That's you.
That's a good.
Maybe it's opened up. Maybe it's opened up.
Maybe it's an eggnog mixer. Little port finish eggnog.
Pinot Noir.
Oh, Pinot.
Yeah.
Even better.
Way to screw it up, Ben. All right. For myself, TJ Pittenger, Brendan Sinone, Ben Cock. Hey, interact with us on social media. Show us what we were drinking on Christmas Day. We had a lot of viewers in here tonight.
Did we really?
On Facebook. A lot of viewers on Facebook, YouTube,
eggnog.
A ton on Twitter.
They all left.
There hanging out. So yeah, once we got into the eggnog, they all left. But
Ben has a night.
A lot of people at the beginning. Bourbon on a Budget on social media. We'll be back Thursday to review something that we don't know what it is just yet, but check it out. If we don't see you before then, Merry Christmas and cheers.